ultimate EV performance, it's no longer sufficient for a brand to merely give its electric vehicle a drive motor on the front axle to add to the one at the back. As Audi's two e-tron S models show, ideally you'd want 3 motors. The result is more power, more grip and better handling. It's all good.
It's been over 40 years since Audi redefined performance driving with its Quattro all-wheel drive system. With this e-tron S model, you could argue that the brand has redefined it once again for a very different era, this being the world's first electric vehicle to use 3 drive motors. The larger electric motor that on a conventional e-tron Sportback sits at the rear has here been moved to the front, and that frees up space for 2 smaller motors to sit on the back axle, allowing torque vectoring and fully variable torque distribution between the rear wheels for what should be a considerably enhanced cornering ability. The difference here is that you get real confidence through tighter, twistier turns, and that's thanks to the electronic torque vectoring system's ability to individually control the amount of drive fed to each individual rear wheel with pinpoint accuracy. That's based on the grip and load active on either side of the car as you drive through each corner. It's sort of like a mechanical limited slip differential, except that here there's nothing except software linking the 2 rear motors, and they respond up to 25% quicker. While all this is going on, wheel selective torque control on the front axle uses the discs and pads to gently brake the inside front wheel as you turn, and that further helps to rotate the car into the turn as the rear tyres edge towards their limit. The only disappointment, as with the more ordinary e-tron Sportback models, lies with the relative lack of steering feel. That's a familiar Audi issue, although the variable ratio progressive rack is certainly accurate. If only though it gave you the same confidence as the drive system, what a car this would be. Extra motive power in this S model means a higher output, of course, up to 435 PS with 808 Nm of torque, or with the S mode engaged for overtaking 503 PS, and that's a thumping 973 Nm of torque. It's enough to simply hurl this Audi at the horizon. 62 from rest is recorded at 4.5 seconds, but it feels quicker than that because the pulling power is so instant. It tails off only as you edge close to the 130 mph maximum. Drive more sensibly, and a claimed range of up to 236 miles is supposed to be possible. That's in between 8.9-hour charging sessions using the 11 kilowatt wallbox charger that Audi recommends. If you're lucky enough to find one of the rare 150 kilowatt public charging points, up to 95% of battery capacity can be replenished in just 50 minutes. In this S specification form, the e-tron Sportback sets itself apart with key silver trimming features, most notably for this S-specific front bumper, which features that colour for the spoiler lip and for the air intake surrounds. In profile, more S-specific silver trimming features for the side sills and the door mirror housings. Nice touches include the optional virtual mirrors, L-shaped pods which protrude on aerodynamic stalks, replacing the ordinary door mirrors, and also the inclusion of charging flaps on both sides of the car behind the front wheel arches. They feature copper-themed e-tron branding, and they neatly open with a push of a button. At the rear, where there's model-specific badging, the upper edge of the bumper and the lower diffuser both gain more striking silver finishing with S trim. This potent-looking diffuser stretches the width of the underside with a distinctive design signature that's intended to draw the eye to the absence of exhaust pipes. Inside, this S model is set apart by these Valcona leather-trimmed Super Sport seats with their diamond stitching and S embossing, and by little touches like the S embossing on the gear shifter, the illuminated S-branded door sill scuff plates, and by a subtle red surround for the stop-start button. There's a race-style flat-bottom steering wheel too, through which you view a 12.3-inch virtual cockpit instrument binnacle screen upgraded to Plus status, which means you can select a more focused extra e-tron Sport single dial layout. Okay, let's take a seat in the rear. This Sportback's 20mm reduction in ceiling height might bother you if you're a 6-footer. Your head will be brushing this immaculately crafted roofliner, but otherwise it feels pretty spacious back here. We'll finish with a look at cargo space. Now there is a compartment under the bonnet, but since that's only 60 litres in size, we'll ignore it and focus on the boot area. You get a powered tailgate, of course, which rises to reveal a 555 litre luggage bay for this Sportback body shape, which is 45 litres less than the ordinary boxier e-tron SUV body shape can offer. There's also a useful underfloor storage area. Fold down the rear bench, which folds conveniently in a 40-20-40 split, and 1,595 litres of capacity is freed up. That's 60 litres less than the ordinary e-tron SUV body shape. So what's the bottom line here? Well, having a twin motor system on the rear axle and a single motor up front doesn't just deliver huge performance and impressive traction, it also significantly enhances the fine level of control that can be used to thread this e-tron model through a series of corners at speed. And that delivers a level of agility that you simply wouldn't expect from anything this big and heavy. It's difficult to think of another large EV more in need of this kind of dynamic enhancement than the standard Audi e-tron and e-tron Sportback models, which in their more straightforward forms can feel a little flat-footed compared to rivals. The S models, though, they're very different. Don't choose the ordinary version without trying this one. It's as simple as that.